Okay. So, who is Marco?
Marco is literally a student who likes to learn about way too many things.
Fair enough.
At one time, and tries to make things out of those learnings, whether it be music or a life lesson or like a mantra or like or a theory, whatever. Kind of like taking what I got, even if it's like bare minimum, and just making something out of it that I'm proud of.
Fair enough.
It doesn't even have to be musically, as long as it's just like fulfilling in some way.
What were you going to college for?
Psychology.
Not surprising.
Yeah, I like studying people.
Me too.
I don't know how that became a thing, but I figured I could probably do well in that area.
Yeah. So you've been making. What made you start making music though?
At first, I did it out of straight spite. I used to be like, I used to have an old head mentality because I listened to a lot of old heads. I grew up with a lot of like Biggie, Jersey, all those.
Forefathers.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
And so I was like, yo, man, Lil Yachty ain't this, man. Lil Uzi Vert ain't shit, dog. I'm gonna start rapping for my own reasons and my own purposes. And then over the course of years, once I really started buckling down and really started evaluating what it takes in order to make these things, in order to make music, I understood that it's a lot more than what I thought, And it was I was much more closed-minded at the time. And so it went from me freestyling with my boy in his room shooting the shit to then recording, and spending every single day writing and then writing and then revising and then writing and then revising. And so now I'm like, I appreciate those people. Now I'm like, oh, Lil Yachty, that nigga bumps, bro.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, Lil Uzi Vert is a genius, because he kind of is a genius.
He is. You got any new projects coming out?
I'm working on an album.
Really? You're in album mode, huh?
Yeah, I've been in album mode for a little bit. I finished two songs out of it. I just have to record them. It's a doozy.
I'm in album mode too.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
What's the title?
Honestly, I don't know yet. I've been working on actual music production a lot. A lot of,
like the actual technicality.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very hard.
I don't know. I'm getting better. Every single time I make a beat, I make my own beats for my album.
That's nice.
And
that's great.
A lot of them are fire. I'm gonna get features from Envy and Asani and just everybody in the community.
And me.
For sure. I'll let you hop on one. I want to do a cypher for the new year. I wanted to get a bunch of artists together on a Zeusy or King from 98 beat.
Right.
Just go crazy.
That'd be nice if we got everyone together.
Because we've been talking about it for a grip. We've been talking about what if Boston had a Boston underground artist cypher.
And there are. I've been to a couple of them.
Yeah.
But they're all 30-year-old white men.
Yeah.
Who have been rapping forever and have spent literally all of their time rapping.
R.A. the Rugged Man.
Yo,
bro.
R.A. the Rugged Man, but
actually
only 20% of them are good.
Yeah. R.A. the Rugged Man was amazing. I don't care what anybody says. He was a great artist.
The crazier part is that the crackheads are the ones that are spazzing out. They're the ones that are spazzing. Seen this freestyle for 5 minutes straight, and I'm like, damn, I can do that too, pero coño. Yo, chill the fuck out.
I think honestly writtens are overrated to some degree.
Man, when I first started rapping, I would only freestyle.
Yeah.
And I thought the same exact thing, and I was putting out basically anything that I could record at the time I put.
Yeah.
Doesn't
matter what it was.
Doesn't matter quality. I was like, no one's gonna give a shit anyways. I might as well just do it. It, toss it out. And everyone's like, yo, you should try. You should actually give a shit. And I'm like, what if I give a shit?
Yeah.
And now all I do is
crazy written.
All I do is take almost a month to write a song so it can be the maximum, just so it can be its craziest.
I don't know. Your freestyles are fire though. When you were spitting that freestyle when we were warming up at the show, I was like, wait, I don't even know this guy. He's
Yeah.
out here spitting like that. Okay.
That's how I enter the room. That's how Malik and I enter the room, pretty much.
Be like that. Malik's he's different.
Nice.
So like what I'm working on right now is I'm working on Caleb's website, Authentic Caleb. He's producer. You know, authenticworldwide.com. Yeah. I'm working on that. We've built that with him. And I'm working on the photo shoots. I've been doing multiple shoots, interviews.
Yeah, the pictures have been coming out great.
Yeah. I just shot with I'll show you the pictures. I just shot with Heartbreak Debs today, Debbie. And those are some of the best shots I've done so far. Mind you, I've only been shooting as a photographer for a little over a month now.
Really?
And
wow.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's just
that's pretty big stat.
yeah, it's just like, you know, a regular person,
Jesus.
what a regular person would do, and then there's like, yeah, we're gonna let you be one of the biggest photographers in Boston.
There you go. You're in charge of all this now. Here you go.
Yeah, I have collaborations.
You're taking pictures of Spider-Man, bud.
I mean, like, okay, what 17-year-old gets to go to an event from being invited to a fashion show by Black Picasso Tito, right? Who designs for Drake and designer at 17 years old.
That's like...
I'm going here, I'm like,
It was meant to be, dude.
It's just, it's surreal.
It was meant to be.
I'm telling you, like, being a dream chaser, like, actually going after your dreams is the only way I'm ever gonna respect anybody. Like, you probably saw the thing I posted. I was just like, there's more to life than, you know, dressing up and taking pictures.
Literally.
I'm like, I refuse to work with anybody whose sole, like, endeavors in life is to dress up and take pictures for clout. Like,
literally.
I can't do it.
The
like,
whole reason we're here is because we've done the shit.
Yeah.
We've been in our fair share of shit in order to get to where we
exactly.
have to go.
Like, there's people who, like, I only work with people who actually care about what they do. Like, this is my passion.
For real.
And it's, I don't know. I think people that are just, like, chasing a bag, like, photographers especially, that are, like, media, like, agency people, like, that are in that sort of the world, that, like, literally are just there for the bag. They don't care who it is, what their motives are, just taking pictures, getting paid. Like, that's just, it's not what it is. Like, you're no longer an artist, but you're just like a slave to the community.
For real, exactly.
And I talked about that on the Mello interview. It's just like, there's so many people that are just not who they need to be, and they don't care.
Or not who they want to be. They would rather, like, chase an image. You know?
Honestly, I think they want to be that to some degree, but not for the right motives. It's just, I hate people who, like, refuse to have self-acceptance, and it's just like societal acceptance is everything to them. You know, it's just, but that's why there are so many artists in this community who don't make it. Like, there's people who put out a little bit of music and disappear, and that's it.
Yeah.
And then there's people who don't really care about their content, don't really care about the quality of their content.
It's like, yeah.
They just drop a song every other week, and it's like a poorly mixed freestyle.
For real.
You know, with some gain issues and popping and crackling. And I'm like, bro, why does your voice sound like a vinyl record? Hello?
All that was literally me for a year. Like, the first year because I started rapping when I was, like, 18. Like, and I was literally doing just that. Like, I just didn't give a shit. I did not give a shit. And then I started, like, I noticed, like, that I would increase in quality a little bit, because I would always freestyle. If you catch me, you see me down the street walking to my job, you know,
you just freestyle.
I'm going off, and they're like, everyone's like, what the is this crackhead doing?
It doesn't help that you dress low-key like a crackhead.
Yo,
it doesn't help.
It does not help at all that I also dress like a homeless man. Like,
honestly, I was like, who is this whitewashed human being walking in? I'm like, who is this?
I'm like, hi.
Like, the thing that you guys do, that little joke, like, hey man, hi man, hey man.
Literally.
The talk white thing is just hilarious to me.
Dude,
because like when I like heard audio of your voice for the first time, I'm like, oh, what is this white boy doing? I'm like, what is this?
Oh man,
it's crazy. And exactly, and that's like the thing with like being like a media agency owner, like somebody who does, you know, media, is like you can do it from your computer.
Exactly.
Like I didn't actually go out and do anything in the community until like July, like the weekend before my birthday. So I did like a month of like, I did like 30, 40 articles and built my entire name around that, and I had never left my house to go out and meet artists.
Oh shit.
It's just that. It's like, there's literally no excuse for anybody to be like, I want to be a part of something, but
not
you know,
be a part of it.
Exactly. Like, you have zero excuse. Like, I wasn't even getting paid to do it. Like, I do it because I love it. It's not even like it's handout. It's just showing love.
It was just the thing that you enjoy doing.
Exactly. And people are like, oh, you know, you're a dick rider. You're doing this. You're doing that. I'm like, bro, why can't I just show love and you not be conscious about it? Like, mind your business, bro.
Literally.
Like, and you see, nobody disrespects me in this entire community. Why would they?
Because we know, we understand that you know the work, you know.
Exactly.
Game, it's like game respects game.
Exactly.
You feel me?
And that's why I with so many artists in Boston, because it's different in Boston. Like we were talking about, like it's different in New York. New York is just a hating ass place. Like everybody hates. Then you come to Boston, and it's just like we've done the hating since the '90s. We've been doing all that, and it's just like we're tired. We're just like, let's just love each other, man.
Really. And even now, sometimes the Boston rapper stigma is still like kind of like on the rocks. Sometimes people would be like, "Yo, man, fuck you, man. You ain't from Boston, man. You're from X, Y, and Z." And it's like, it's all Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Who cares,
bro? I just call it the metropolis at this point because everybody everybody either lives in Medford, Malden, Everett, or Boston. And that's it. And that's just the surrounding area. Everybody's there.
It's like that's like the circle.
Yeah, that's it. Or you have like people like Envy, he's from Methuen. Like there's some people that are actually from the boonies and are actually doing bigger numbers than people who are connected, you know. People don't really like give you room for error. Like you mess up once, it's over.
Yeah, everyone's a critic, you know.
And that's what makes people scared. You know?
That's why most people don't really just do things. They kind of, it's so much easier to just talk shit about another person rather than to actually not only empathize, but to then go out and try to do it yourself.
Yeah. You know, like people don't really like, I don't think they really care enough. Like people like have this, when you come out the gate, you have this, nobody can mess with me. Even if they hate on me, I'm gonna keep going. And then you get that little bit of hate and like it really messes with your mental.
Yeah, you know, it's like a super individualistic thing.
Yeah. And
especially music, where it's like everyone's making, not only is everyone opinionated, but everyone's literally making shit every single possible moment.
Yeah.
While we're here talking, there are like people in the stew right now.
Yes.
Type shit.
I can guarantee you that King from 98, Jay Wavy are in the studio right now. Keto, everybody, somebody is in the studio right now.
Like, literally.
Probably Zeus. Zeus is probably in his lab right now.
literally before you got here, I was writing. Like,
of course you were.
Type shit.
I was writing last night. I'm literally, people are either, as a creator, you're always going to be creating. Like, because it's your passion, right?
Either you're all in or not at all, you know?
Either you drop a song every 4 years or, you know,
for real.
You have 50 songs in the vault and you've been creating for a month and a half.
Literally.
Like, I'm scared to see some people's vaults.
I write the verses for the songs, and then I just don't record them for like X amount of time.
Yeah.
Just to see the passage of time sometimes. Just so I can I could have said this better. Yeah. So I'll tweak it. I could have said this in a better way. My cadence could have been this way or that way, you know?
I don't know. I think that, like, especially with your style, it's like, it's so like, it's not even like it's preachy, but it's like, it's very like pastor type of music. It's just like, but like you're spitting, like it's just, it's heat. I think there are a lot of artists that are schizophrenic though, like low key.
Yeah,
like Nicki Minaj is very schizophrenic.
I wouldn't say schizophrenic. I would say more like
dissociative.
I would say like insecure.
Yeah.
I would say like she's like super like, cause like here like it's kind of like a double-edged sword almost, cause it's like as a rapper you're supposed to be given the ideology that you can kind of withstand anything, you know? Either verbally, physically, whatever, you know. You're a bit more confident than most other people, you know, because, you know, most rappers are braggadocious, you know, often, you know.
Braggadocious.
For real. I put that in a f***ing song.
I know, I heard you say it.
No, I put that in a song recently.
Oh.
You know how hard it is to put braggadocious in a trap beat? It's not that hard, but
I also heard you say something about multiple arms like a kraken, whatever.
That was Malik, yeah.
That line went crazy.
Yeah,
but anyways, back to the topic.
That killed me. Shoot. but what's it called? It can, one can easily be like, oh, if you don't want this reaction, then actually give it, try better, do better, make better music. But I feel like there's kind of like a lack of empathy for Nicki's end, because maybe she is trying hard.
Yeah.
Maybe this is her best quality work. Maybe this is her trying her absolute best, and it's just not what people want to necessarily hear.
And even when she's trying her hardest, people say she has a ghostwriter.
Exactly.
That's the one thing that discredits any artist. People can be like, "Oh, you don't even write your own shit. Like you ain't even really an artist."
Did you see the interview she did with Joe Budden?
No.
Recently.
I don't really like Joe Budden. So.
The entire time, she was super defensive.
Because she comes into every single interview like that.
But it's only because every time Nicki Minaj is mentioned within the media,
negative connotation.
It's not in a positive light. Unless it's her fans doing it. But if we ever have a ratio for her fans to everyone else, it's
easily one of the most
1 to 4.
Yeah, easily one of the most hated artists to ever come into the rap game. Easily.
It's upsetting because all she did was exist.
Yeah. And she tried to be herself, and she expressed herself, and then people felt some type of way about it.
For real. How and I feel that. I feel from a humor perspective, I get that. And I understand she said she was retiring in order to start a family, and I understand that.
She's what, 30 something?
Yeah, facts.
She's been around for a grip.
Facts. However, it's the moments like that are they're not as opportune, and so times like that are usually where you have to strike.
Yeah.
Times like that where it's you're down on your luck. You literally feel like absolute shit. I want to quit. I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to continue working on what I want to work on. That's the moment where you're oh, I have to do something.
Yeah.
Oh, I have to make a difference. Yeah. And if you don't choose to make the difference, then you're only left with the results of doing nothing, which is most likely nothing.
I think that also people think she's too ditzy to really understand that.
Exactly.
Which sucks because she's a person. She's intelligent beyond belief. She's smart.
For real.
It's just as a businesswoman alone, she's more successful than 90-something% of women that'll ever exist.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. I think that honestly, that's every artist's biggest fear is giving up. Because they know that eventually one day it does come to an end. No artist makes music until they die. Or at least until they are in their 80s. Nobody's making music.
No one expects to die.
No.
While making their music type.
No. Unless they're doing crack. Yeah.
Unless you're in certain circumstances, like Biggie and Pac, they didn't know that they were gonna end up shooting each other, but they knew that actions have consequences.
For sure. I think it's the same way with I think one of the only people that really understand the length. And extent, being in a toxic community and a violent community and still existing in peace is WuTang Clan.
Literally, yeah.
Because WuTang was one of the original to ever do it. They practically own Staten Island. They have their own street named after them now.
Yeah, right? They did that recently.
And it's just they've been through so many things. They came from violent upbringings, and they really set trends for artists to come. Because they brought this idea that violence, music can get you away from that. And that's I can't wait to watch that Hulu documentary on them.
Yeah.
Because it's it talks about this is a lot of people's escape. Music has always been escape for people, it's a way to creatively express yourself. Or even as any sort of creator, that's the way that you kind of have to do it. You have to find, this is the ultimatum. Either you do whatever the toxic thing that you are, doing, you either do that or you find this avenue. And that's
exactly
what a lot of people nobody goes and says, oh, you know what I want to do with my life? I want to be a music producer, or I want to make music, I want to write, I want to be a singer.
Yeah, not right off the bat.
No, it's something that happens, or some sort of situation, or some sort of upbringing that brings them into that light. Because music is about escape at the core of it,
Yeah. And not only that, I think it's just about perspective.
Yeah.
Because it's really I kind of I like to level, certain psychological aspects into music.
Yeah.
Because when you really think about it, each person's piece of music is kind of like a case study. When you really think about it, you once you break it down, you're oh, really means this. I don't like in f***ing English class, and your f***ing teacher's like, oh, you need to understand the deeper meaning of this poetry. You have to highlight each individual line, A, B, A, like type shit. That type of shit comes into play at that point, and it's like, oh, these people aren't just like there's gonna be obviously a handful of people who are just like, oh, I do this, I do that, and it's obviously it's like, oh, do you really do that though? But most people you can really feel it. Most people you can really tell that they're genuine, and that they actually care for their craft and for what they do, and that they're actually willing to not only put their stuff out there, but to take the criticism that comes from it, and to take the negative comments that come from it in order to then improve on yourself, as opposed to just stopping because someone said a thing that you didn't like, And I had people come up to me and like, yo, Marco, you can't rap. And then I would be like, all right, and then you do it. Yeah. You rap. Spin me a freestyle right now. Rap battle me. I've gone up to people and be like, yo, rap battle me right now. Yeah. If you since you know so much, show me what you got.
It's always, and haters have no actual, any sort of grounds to even hate on you, but they just do it.
Exactly. But even then, over time, I was like, that's kind of excessive. If they I feel like everyone has their own taste and has their own preference in things, and I feel like that preference shouldn't just be automatically voided, even if it's disguised as a negative comment. You know, I feel like these things come from a little area of truth. And so with those things, you kind of like operation. You have to pick out a certain piece of it, and really take to understand. Most people just can't take negative criticism, and they just have their whole life be ran by that. And I only know because I done that for 5 years straight. Yeah. But in doing so, it comes a time where it's just like, man, that. Yeah. That shit.
It's definitely there are you have a threshold of epiphanous moments as a human being, not even just as a creator. You have a threshold of epiphanous moments where once you have so many epiphanous moments, it all loses meaning. It's just life is TV static, and it's just
you've literally broken everything down to the most common denominator of the answer.
And it's just everything just feels meaningless, and it's just when you are somebody who gives into the universe, actually tries to put out more than they take, it only leaves you empty. Because even if you you can only give so much without the support of other people, right? So if you're only giving so much, in relation, if you're giving 10 times more than you're taking, if you're only giving 5 out of 10, then you're negative 5.
You're only gonna get maximum 0.
Yeah, you're deteriorating over time. And it sucks because it's just losing faith in what your passion is. It's just it kills you, not only as a person, just as a creator, as somebody who gives to the universe. It sucks because that's just how it is.
Yeah. I think but even at those points, there has to be a moment of self-responsibility. There has to be a moment where or at least that I have learned, I don't know anyone else. I know a lot of people, but I don't know anyone else's life verbatim, But there has to be a moment where you're you want to know what? Maybe I'm looking for the wrong thing.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm overthinking it, Maybe I'm just taking the negatives into so much consideration that I've outweighed the positives, Yeah. From people telling me that I don't know how to rap, I made a demo. Yeah. From people telling me I don't know how to freestyle, I'm become one of the better freestylers than ever. From people telling me that my music is trash and that my taste is awful, I've gone and met producers and made my own music based on my own taste. Yeah. It's all about whether you can do that for yourself, because at the end of the day, you are by yourself and you are going to be alone, and no one's going to be there to help you. Even if you have a significant other, who's supportive.
There's a threshold for it.
Yeah, exactly. No one really knows you like you.
Yeah, and it's sad.
For real.
It's sad to feel like unsupported in an environment where, you know, the media says there's nothing but support.
Exactly.
Which is sad because it's like they give you like this false hope that, you know, there's something more to it. There's something, you know, there's something that's beyond being, you know, just like there to create. Like there's something that you receive from it.
Literally.
Like from the community, but you don't do that. Like you don't receive practically in comparison to what you give, you don't receive like anything.
Exactly.
Like you can have the most loyal fan base in the world, and it's just like I would rather have, you know, like I would rather have 500 people who supported me fully, bought my music, you know, like actually supported
like,
me, than 1,000 people who just listened to it free streaming
that you bought from like Instagram for like
Yeah.
$15-20.
Yeah, it's just like it's sad.
Yeah.
You know?
I feel like that's why nowadays there's been such a high insurgence of rappers. Everyone wants to be a rapper. Everyone wants to do this shit.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to be part of this life. But immediately, like we were talking about earlier, either once they're met with criticism, they're not really able to back it up, or they understand that they're not going to get that instant gratification, that instant affection, that instant attention immediately. And that's the thing, you know, because it's not only like, oh, you were talking shit about making music and you didn't do it, you're a bitch, blah, 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 blah. It's unfortunate because, you know, what kind of music that could have been made? You know? Yeah. What could have been that possible product? Like, not a lot of people like to this is a hot take. This is a hot take. But like, if 6ix9ine dropped another album, I'd listen to it.
I would too.
Just to see,
honestly,
just to see what's up, just to see what's on his mind, just to see what's up.
I like, honestly, I would like. I've been thinking about this for a long time. I want to hear a 2020 Ja Rule album.
Really, like,
because Ja Rule has been through it all.
Yeah,
he's been through the Conscious Mind rap. God. He's been through prison multiple times. He's been through, you know, the media. He had his own show, Ja Rule's House.
Yeah, something like that. Right?
It was just like he's really like you can look at the progression. I want to see where he is as somebody, because he's somebody who's very conscious of the media climate. You know, and that's something about being an artist. Like you have to be so conscious of the media climate,
even after being like literally thrown into the wolves with the fucking Fire Festival thing.
Yeah, and it was just like it sucks. Like I would love to hear what Bill Cosby has to say on his deathbed, because it's different from what he's saying right now, because he still has time left. You know, but like when he has nothing left,
when his back's against the wall.
When the back's against the wall, he has nothing left to offer. This is the last thing he's ever gonna say ever.
It's kind of like when X died, and like not right before he died, but like when he got out of jail. Yeah. Like right before he got out of jail the second time, he fully admitted to the deeds that he did. He fully admitted to everything that he did. I knew
he was wrong for it.
Yeah, I knew that he'd do it. That's like an affidavit is basically the description of what's going on. Yeah. And that was 2,000 pages. 2,000.
And a lot of it's on video.
For real. And it's like, damn, he was kind of a shit person. He was well, not kind of, he was a terrible person, you know. But he was liable for change. And
he was a terrible person to some degree. And I think that honestly, like, understanding that you're terrible, like, even like for me, through my personal experiences, like I've been through it all. Like I've been through like really terrible shit. Like feeling like you're just worthless for 4 years. Like I literally had nobody around me for so long. And then it kind of like recently, like really realizing like I fucked up a lot of shit in my life. I did. Like even recently, like what I just told you, you know.
Yeah.
It's just like I fucked up. Like I fucked up big time. And when X took responsibility for that, like I think that really changed a lot of people's outlook on, you know, creators or humans.
Exactly. It's kind of hard to like, unless you're like a dedicated music listener like that, unless you really listen out for shit like that, it's kind of hard to separate the person from the music, you know? Yeah. It's like I don't listen to Azalea Banks, so I don't want to use her as like an example, but you know, people always give her shit, but she makes music, you feel me? Yeah. You know, but that's like a whole other thing.
Damn, hold up, where are we at? I think we should be good. Unless you want, we can just keep kicking it, but We're at 48 minutes of audio. My mellow interview is 55 minutes.
Jesus.
I'll let you listen to it. I'm just gonna stop the recording.